So I got the bags out of my trunk that I had in there and found all this stuff that I had bought. Oh, this was the day. Did I go to Havenwyck that day? I don't remember now, but I went to the 7-Eleven out in Holt. Oh my gosh, I'm having visions of all the stuff that happened. That was weird. But anyway, I bought all this stuff. It was all symbolic. Here's the car. I used to have a Bug that was like my dream car, and this represents, obviously, like peace, love, whatever. And this was, represented me. It winds up and goes, and it's cool. Yeah, they had some neat little things there. But this represented me. I had this thought that I was going to, let me see if I can. So I had this thought that I was going to move. I didn't know where exactly, but a lot of the times I was thinking I was going to move to Germany or at least overseas somewhere. But I was going to flee my life here to start a new life somewhere else. Yeah, let me see what else. And then see if I remember. So the cherry lemon ones, I bought these to represent me holding on to my vape, because the vape I use is cherry lemon flavored, and this represented me holding on to my vape and saying I'm not going to quit vaping, at least yet. And the chocolate, I believe, represented holding on to my desire and natural attraction towards black men. And okay, this cookie was, I think this was for me, because this was something that appealed to me, because I'm not a huge sweets person. And there's these two like brownie muffins. Don't remember what that was. And then there's, I think this must have been one of those too, but it just got squished. Because there's 3. That would make sense. And then I at first had bought 3 packs of these Chex Mix, one for me, one each for the girls. But then I bought them, and then I went and purchased all the rest of them, thinking this was the number of people, however many bags of Chex Mix I could buy, was the number of people that I would be able to save, basically, in a way that, meaning I would take them with me into the next chapter of my life, or the 5th dimension, or the new earth, whatever, I don't know exactly. And then here were a package of 3, of course, bandanas, which represented me and the girls fleeing, in basically covering up our identity and leaving and going to a new place altogether, away from this life, I guess. So yeah, kind of strange, I know, but it all made sense to me, and it still actually kind of does make sense to me. I see this some symbolism in everything I do, pretty much. Well, at least when, well, no, I even still do now. But it's just different now. It's more controlled, and I'm not going to be doing stupid shit like this, like spending all my money on stuff like this. I can just look at it at the store and appreciate the symbolism of what I see, and not actually buy all this shit. And like, what am I going to do with this? I mean, I can give these bags away. Of course, I'm going to give them to my kids. I can find something to do with some of this stuff, but I mean, I doubt this is even good anymore. Well, I guess maybe, I don't know. I don't remember when this was, but anyway, it was really crazy what happened when I was in there. The lady, the attendant who happened to be working that night, because I went out there, why exactly did I go out there? But I was led out there to go there for some reason. Oh, the whole thing was really cool and crazy. What happened when I even just walked in, it was like I had walked into a different timeline or a different world almost. It felt like kind of cold and dark, and it was like when I walked into the 7-Eleven, it was like I walked into a different world or timeline where atheism was ruling the world, and things were getting out of control. It was like the destruction and end of humanity. It was weird, but it was really cool experience. It wasn't anything negative, even though it sounds like it. It was like the whole vibe that I had. That movie Children of Men, when I had that vision or theory or delusion or whatever you want to call it. When was that 2019, when I was at Sparrow Hospital. It started, I think, about how I saw the Antichrist coming, and the destruction of Earth through humans doing, like in that movie. But yeah, I walked in and the whole vibe was so weird at 7-Eleven. And the woman's name, I will never forget this. Her name was Jeanie. And that was totally significant because it was like a sign or something that I was going to have my wishes come true. But I hung out with her. I just like looked around and did a little like, I looked at a bunch of stickers. Oh, where'd those stickers go? Damn it. I probably threw them out. Oh, I want those stickers. I bought a bunch of cool stickers. Not a bunch, but I bought 3, one for me and one for each of the girls that represented something. They were like little, like positive affirmation type stickers, whatever. They were cool. I wish I could remember what they said or where they were. But her name was Jeanie, and I said, hey, this is gonna sound really weird, but is it okay if I just hang out with you in here? I don't really know where I'm going. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have a plan. I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to be here right now, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So can I just, hang out with you here while you're working? It was really late at night, and she had like this really loud music blaring. It was like rock music, and she was like, really cool, kind of seemed like a biker chick type. She was probably about 10 years older than me, probably mid-50s. And we chit-chatted. I asked her if she liked her job, and I asked her if I could help her multiple times, like clean, and I told her just give me a rag and I would help clean up the place, and and I noticed that the bathroom was dirty, and of course I go in and I check the baby diaper changing thing, and would leave them down. This is whenever I went into a bathroom. Well, maybe not always, but usually I would leave it down, and to symbolize the importance of paying attention to those things, the diaper station and keeping them clean. So I was like saying, don't forget about cleaning this. It's important that people take care of their babies. Yeah. It was fun though. What a cool adventure. So anyways, I hung out there at 7-Eleven, drank coffee, smoked a cigarette with her on her break, and all of a sudden 5 cops came in, 5 separate SUV cop cars. Ingham County showed up, and it was like it wasn't a surprise to me. It was like almost, when it happened, it was like I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know that was going to happen, but when it happened, it was 10:45, 46 when I looked at the clock. But then, and all I knew is that they were there for a reason, and that they were there for me to have some sort of interaction with them. And I stood outside. Oh yeah, I bought oh yeah, that's right. I bought a Black and Mild cigar that represented my father and my mother, and I basically like smoked it for them type thing, because they both used to be smokers and they both like cigars, and if they could, if they weren't responsible or disciplined or whatever, if they had their way, they would still smoke. So I smoked that, and the whole time I was out there a while, those 5 cops, it was 4 male cops and 1 female cop, and they just were chilling and hanging out at the 7-Eleven. It was weird. It was like out of a I don't know, what the fuck. It was just bizarre. It was like out of a movie. And so I went back in and I went up to Jeanie, the attendant, and was like, Jeanie, I don't know what to do. And I was like whispering, and I was like, all I know is that I'm supposed to be talking to these police officers, but I can't because I'm scared. I have a fear of police officers. And earlier in the night, she had already mentioned about her cops or whatever that come in, and that how the cops in that area are really cool. So I had already had like this sense of, okay, it's okay to trust these cops. And plus they were Ingham County, not Clinton County. So that's a significant thing too, that for whatever reason, I can go and trust Ingham County police, but not Clinton County and DeWitt. I still believe that. So anyway, and then I saw one of them. Oh yeah, and he went right in between the Vernors and the grape slushy and went in the middle and got one, and I had to go in and look closely to see what the flavor was, and it was blood orange, which was significant, the color. And I had just bought blood oranges for the first time ever to make a fruit salad, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And then that guy, his last name was the same last name as one of my boyfriends in high school. And so that represented something. And then there was this one, I call him a little guy because he was a smaller statured guy, and he was pretty young. He was quite a bit younger than I was. And we had a conversation and all this stuff, blah, 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 whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to try to shorten this up, but I talked to them. They were really cool. He asked me some questions, and what did I show him? I showed him something on my phone, and he was like, it was like we were playing off each other, all of us. It was like a simulation, like the Truman Show. And then he said, okay, how about this? After I showed him something on my phone, it was like, I thought he clarified that I was who I was, and that was a signal to him to do what he did, which was to offer. He told me he wasn't really supposed to, or it wasn't normal for him to do this, but he would let me follow him to the hospital instead of me just using my GPS to find my way there, because I was worried that I would get lost, because I had no idea where I was. And because I told them, because they said, well, what do you want? What are you looking for? And I said, I don't know exactly. I just know I'm looking for help. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing or anything. I just need help. And I told them that maybe I should go to the hospital. And so anyway, he led me out to, oh my gosh, that's right. And then I was following him, and I couldn't believe it. His license plate, it was crazy. It was the number 33. And then there was like a symbol or something, for like the state, or in the state, for the cops. Or something, and then maybe some numbers or something, but I swear to God, it said 33, and then there was like a symbol on the license plate, and then some other numbers or letters or something. And so the 33, when I was following behind it, was like a signal to me that I was on the right track and I was going where I was supposed to be going. And so he led me up to the McLaren hospital, and I parked my car, and I asked him, I said, you're not going to come in with me? And he's like, I'm sorry, I wish I could, but we're the only ones on, and I have to do this and whatever. And we talked whatever, and I said, he said it'd be okay to leave my car there. And so he left, and I thanked him. And it was a good experience. And then I went into the hospital, and that's when I checked myself in. Oh, yeah, so that was it. Oh my gosh, I just remembered that. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy and cool, some of the stuff that happened in there. And I was in this, like, waiting room thing for a while before they transported me. And that's when I went, that must have been April 27th. And I went to Havenwyck, the mental hospital in Arbor Springs or something, somewhere near Detroit. But yeah, so I don't know yet what I'm going to do with this stuff. It's really hard for me to throw any of this stuff away, or even like to eat it, to get rid of it if it was still even good, which I'm sure this stuff is, I know, but I don't know about this home-baked stuff. But because I like to save all these things, like I call them little clues and stuff that I experienced along the way, because there's so much that my brain cannot retain, all of the experiences that happened and everything. So anyway, this was me just basically, going through reliving that night at the 7-Eleven. That was very interesting, and it was fun, and it was exciting, and it was a little adventure, but it was also kind of scary. And I think it happened for a reason. I was led to go to the hospital, and, I know I needed to go to the hospital. I was totally off balance and ungrounded, and needed to experience that, as hard as it was and as much as it sucked. Well, actually, that time it wasn't bad. Havenwyck was actually all right. It was way different than being at Stonecross. So, but anyway, yeah, that's just a little story about one of my little adventures.